Lately I've been feeling too alive. Flying too close to the sun, yeah.
Years that blew between us just to grow.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. What hasn't there already been said about this legendary iconic game? Its predecessor, A Link to the Past, was already one of Nintendo's greatest games. It pushed the Super Nintendo to its limits, but Nintendo grew more ambitious. They wanted to further pave the way for the future of gaming by developing a full 3D Zelda adventure on their promising new hardware at the time. And oh man, did they deliver. To this day, it's still considered one of the greatest games of all time, if not the greatest. My childhood consisted of a lot of Ocarina of Time, but I'm also not blinded by the fact that it does indeed need some quality of life updates. Of course, we also have the 3DS remake that actually fixes a lot of the problems, and the game looks absolutely beautiful as ever with the graphical overhaul. I really do like the 3DS version, but in my opinion, I feel like it loses some of that charm from the original, even to the point where it kind of holds your hand a little too much through the entire adventure. That version is clearly more aimed for a younger audience. I know a lot of people grew up playing that version, so I get it. I would like to share with you guys some of the memories I have with this game. Ocarina of Time holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up in a household where gaming was looked down upon, considered a waste of time, my parents would tell me. Which, being an adult now, I can definitely understand that. It very well can be. But being bilingual, video games helped me learn how to read and comprehend English. I would always play games that required little to no reading. It was just a pick up and go. But Ocarina of Time is where I was truly put to the test. Growing up, being the youngest of three, I would always be given the hand-me-downs. That translated over to video games. New games were freaking expensive as hell, man, and they still are now. My dad would buy my older brother and I Super Nintendo games from garage sales or occasionally rent us one game from the video store after church every other Sunday, only if we have behaved and had good grades. He was strict but fair. Let me take you guys back, man. It was Christmas of 1999. A little over a year that Ocarina of Time had been released. And yeah, you guessed it. I would write a letter to Santa in my broken English, and I wrote, "I have behaved all year and I did good in school," which, as of now, I can't recall if that was true or not. Probably not, but I wish for a Nintendo 64 with Ocarina of Time. I even left the dude cookies and milk, and cutouts of magazines I would find anything Zelda related next to the cookies. Also, yes, I did believe in Santa, but that tragic story is for another time. Christmas morning arrives, and there under the Christmas tree, an unwrapped brand new N64 with Ocarina of Time. I couldn't describe the feeling even if I tried. As a kid back in the 90s, that was the most incredible feeling in the world. It would be the first and the last time that I would have a current gen console growing up as a kid. I honestly don't know how my father did it till this day, because we didn't have money like that. But now as an adult, I appreciate it so much more looking back. It's amazing what a parent would do to see their children happy. As this world continues to decline, I see how cruel life can be. Gaming becomes my escape from it, although temporarily. The reality is, we cannot beat Father Time. Time comes and goes like the wind. It creeps up on you, and before you know it, you are reminiscing on the past. Once it goes, it can't be reclaimed back. There's no way in knowing when or what awaits us. When tragedies are due to happen, we often exclude ourselves from reality. And more often than not, that can lead to more tragedies. Fast forward to 2021. My dad had become sick. It felt all so sudden. He became an empty shell of his former self, and it was very tough on my family, including for myself. However, being there for my father in his time of need is all I cared about. As days turned into months, I would lose my father more and more to that illness. Quite frankly, I too would slowly succumb to the dreadfulness looming over my thoughts and prayers. When the child destined to be the hero of time, Link, was summoned by the nurturing father guardian of the forest, the great Deku Tree, he was put to the test to vanquish the evil curse set upon him by the evil Gerudo thief Ganondorf. Yet, what looked as if Link was successful killing that evil creature deep within the tree, the guardian spirit still dies. In my opinion, I think this is a perfect depiction of when a parent with an illness fights hard for recovery, but to no avail, they eventually accept the truth that it's time to move on from this life. Devastating, yes, but perhaps they find closure when they know that the child they raise will be okay and will have the courage to take on the world fearlessly. July 5th, 2022, I lost my father. The last time I saw him, he spoke to us as if he knew he will be departing from this world. I will never forget the calmness in his voice and the sense of relief in his eyes. I find comfort knowing he will not be in pain anymore. I know I'll see him again someday, and until that time comes, I will continue to honor his legacy. Naturally, time heals everything. But I often ask myself, is it healthy to continue to ruminate on the past and feel that it could have gone differently? Soon to realize that a clenched fist full of anger is no way to live. As I continue my spiritual journey, I realize that grief and resilience do indeed live together. Although I feel I've been stuck bargaining for far too long, I strive to persevere through it. For anyone who is watching this video, please continue to fight through adversity. Don't give in to the intrusive thoughts. You are not alone. I promise you it gets better. Let your loved ones know how much they mean to you, because there will be a day where you won't have that luxury anymore. I can't talk about Ocarina of Time without thinking of my dad. He was my great Deku Tree, a nurturing father with an immense amount of wisdom. He was a strong-willed individual. He lived life the way he wanted to. An extremely hard-working, intelligent man. He was a healer, selfless and honest, with tremendous pride. That man was my father, and I miss him very much. Until I see you again, may you rest in peace. Papá, te quiero mucho.